like to introduce you all to Yuri. He is the CEO and founder of a marine tech company based on the surveying and monitoring of the depths of the ocean. It's something far beyond my understanding, yet I am sure it will be incredibly interesting and insightful. He is in the Slack channel as well. And after we finish this, there'll be a short Q&A, and I hope you guys will really enjoy it. But without further ado, Yuri, please introduce yourself to our audience and get started. Oh, and before all that, if everyone can mute their microphones to avoid any background interference or anything, that'd be excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lindell. It's a pleasure to be here. I would say good morning, good evening, but or wherever you are, just gonna say good day. Where I heard we are on 11 different time zones, so maybe that's the better way to bless everybody. Thank you for being here. My name is Yuri Yoselevich. I'm the CEO and founder of DockTech. We are creating a digital twin of waterways, mostly in shallow waterways such as ports and rivers, and we're doing that to increase utilization and safety of vessels. But I'm actually not here to talk about DockTech per se. I wanted to share my experience from the very first days when we thought about DockTech up until today. And well, not a lot of people know, but I've started my company after winning a hackathon, just like the one you're participating in now. So I thought it would be appropriate to talk about that and kind of get the sense of the mindset that I had, and maybe this would be helpful for you guys out there. And obviously, I would love to answer any of your questions. So with that being said, let's see if I can share my screen here and show my presentation. So someone with the mic on, just say if you can see that.
Yeah, that's good, Yuri.
All right, here we go. So I like to introduce you to DockTech's journey, or why winning is the most important thing. So a little about myself. I was a naval officer for a little over 8 years. I've been playing around a lot with onboard electronics. I like that. I like electronics. And afterwards, I studied computer engineering. And one of my best, or my goals that I had that time is to combine the passion for maritime with my passion for technology. In that sense, I've had several events, such as the Navy Hack that you're seeing in here, that I organized and participated. And it was important to me to get people excited about maritime technology in general. In about several months afterwards, I saw this online. It was an invitation for a hackathon on ports in one of the world's biggest ports in Rotterdam, Netherlands. So I say, okay, I've got to take this opportunity. I talked to a couple of my friends, got everything wrapped up and ready to go, built a team, and say, we're going to go there and we're going to give it our best effort. But it was more than that, because first of all, it took a lot of preparation, right? So we had some kind of an idea that's going around tugboats, imports. So in order to get a better understanding, we went and sailed on a tugboat. We asked some captain, even before the hackathon, we had a pizza night. Always important to have a pizza night. And we did our research to make sure that we are coming as prepared as possible. And when I say that, I mean really reading between the lines. I know that you're facing very interesting and challenging challenges that are actually, you know, they are true. They are there. People are experiencing it, and they are causing people problems. But it's really important to distillize what it is exactly the problem. You cannot solve anything, everything, sorry. And you need to be like super laser focused about what you want to achieve. Find the right person to talk to, ask him how are they doing that today, and try to build, the business case that it's really compelling for the specific challenge. And I think that's one of the hardest, like before you even write one line of code, like make sure that all the story is set and it makes sense. So basically you can do three things. You can reduce costs, you can optimize some kind of procedures, and you can find a new revenue stream. Basically, that's the financial business case that usually you can find. So maybe you can back up into where you are right now and ask yourself, okay, are we reducing costs? Are we optimizing, or are we making a new revenue stream in our solution? And if you're not sure, then maybe ask your teammates or ask other teams or mentors how they see your solution in one of those three categories. The other important thing that we felt is, the storytelling. You're going to pitch tomorrow. You're going to talk about, what you've been doing, and it's really challenging for you. It's not even a physical. You're only on Slack and on Zoom or whatever. It's, the intensity level just one level up at least. But you gotta figure out what's the story of the challenge, what's the story of your project, and how do you present it, and say this is what we want to show and this is what we want to develop, and then and take it from there, right? Make sure that you're well aware of what you want to present, because that's the story that's going to resonate in the committees or the judging panel mind. Enjoy. Well, back in the day when we had physical events, I was just talking about that. My last one was in February, and it feels like a decade ago. It's important to have fun, meet people. Usually hackers are like really crazy people that are really fun to hang out with, to pick each other's mind. And I think you can really enjoy that. The way I see it, that kind of the life cycle of a hackathon, you have some idea, you're trying to collaborate on that, you design, you do some kind of a prototype, or even, a semi, just writing out pieces of code, or maybe just boxes. You try them out, and then you iterate on that. And the important thing at the end is to deliver that and pitch it out to the world. And we got through all that, and we were really confident and happy about the result that we had. And the next thing was this. Yay, Smart Port Prize. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but something is weird about that picture. Anybody want to take a guess? I'm going to take like 5-10 seconds if somebody want to guess. Something is wrong here. I'll tell you what's wrong. We are all faking a smile because we were just notified that we're not the first winners of the hackathon. We just got the second most important prize, which is the Smart Port Prize, and we were really frustrated about that. But the cameraman told us to smile, so we did. But actually, a nice thing happens afterwards. It appears that all the finalists, the 8 finalists, were on the stage, which means that the winner is amongst us, is one of the companies that the companies that are on stage. And that frustration turned into excitement again. And this is actually a footage that I found on my friend's cell phone, which apparently popped out, and it looked really bad, but you can definitely hear the excitement when they announce the winner. So I'm really sorry for the really bad footage, but it's kind of telling the story about how we felt when we heard that.
I can't wait to see it implemented. Let's start tomorrow. So, the winner of the hackathon, winner of the first prize, DockTech.
So, as you can see, we were super, super excited about that. And that fake smile turned into a big ear-to-ear smiles, which was just an amazing feeling. And I wish you also to have that feeling of accomplishment. And we were super happy about that. And we got some press coverage, both local here in Israel and global. But then we had to think about, okay, we had some nice engagement, what we want to do about that. And that's the moment when we realized that, maybe the reason that it was a good experience and a good, value proposition is because there's something there. And then we led ourselves into a market research process. We talked to a lot of people that were in the hackathon or maybe networked from the hackathon, and we understand that there's a lot of potential that can be done in the realm of depth in ports and in rivers. And we decided to build a company, and that was just and that was a great feeling for us. So we started the company. It was more than a couple of years ago, and today we have several projects in 3 different continents, and we have a lot more in the pipeline, which we're very proud of. And we are working globally, both in rivers and in ports, and in the biggest port in Brazil, and Mississippi River, which is the mighty river, which a lot of cargo is going on top of, a lot of complex procedures. And we were super happy about that. And maybe that's why I think winning is the most important thing, but not winning the hackathon, winning the challenge, getting to the bottom of things and understanding exactly what it's needed and what is the problem, what is the market gap, and how can we make it better. And that is the true winning. And that is how you make a difference in this world. And I hope, and I'm expecting that we're going to see a lot of that tomorrow. So good for you. I'm open to any questions. It's been a pleasure being here. And turning back to you.
Thank you very much for that, Ewan. That was awesome. Thank you. It's great to see someone else have such a positive experience in another hackathon, and just to really emphasize the good that can come from this kind of competition. And that, as you said, it's as much about the innovation, the kind of people you meet, and the mindset that you experience whilst at these events. I'm not going to talk for much longer. I'd love to open up the mic to everyone in the chat and in the call. If you don't want to unmute yourself and do the video, just pop a message in the Zoom chat, and we can read them off. So go ahead. Someone will have something.
It's very scary to be the first.
Well, I can ask the first question, because maybe everyone feels a bit more comfortable after that. Sure. You emphasise the importance of storytelling when you are talking about your product, your ideas, and also through this presentation. How important would you say storytelling is, both in pitches, but also when it comes to team communication and the clear exchange of ideas?
Oh, absolutely important. I don't think that is just for hackathons. I think we are storytelling our entire life. I'm telling stories to my wife why I'm late, why I'm working late, and I'm telling stories to my parents that thinks sometimes they thought that I'm wasting my time on this tugboat thing. So we're telling stories wherever we go. And communications, it's truly important, because at the end, sometimes you can get even mad when the other side don't understand you, and you said, no, that's what we should work on, and this is what we should. You know what? If you cannot convince him, if you cannot, appeal to his logic, or at least convince the other teammates, maybe you don't understand exactly what you're doing. Maybe you should take a step back, reorganize your thought, make it a very good and compelling story, and just redo that, engage again. and you can. But at the end, we are all telling stories.
Yeah, good. I completely agree with you. Thank you for that. And just a final follow-on, actually, and then I'll let everyone talk, because throughout this evening, teams are going to be working on different problems, on the solutions. And as you said, when you hit that, if people hit that wall where someone wants to prioritize something else and there's that disagreement, how would you approach that kind of challenge in a constructive way?
Well, my methodology is very simple. Go to the presentation and tell me on which slide are you going to update, like take it from there. Why do I go to the presentation? Because that's your storytelling. This is the story that you're telling the world. Go there and try to figure out how what you're doing now is going to contribute to that, to the message that's being in the end of that presentation. And, you know, that generally speaking, you know, it's not just, you know, as people say, just, I don't know. I don't want to say fake it till you make it, but you are telling a story, but the story is based on real foundations, real challenges. And as much as you can get the dots connected in that perspective, the more compelling your story will sound like. So then again, you're not agreeing on something. Makes a lot of sense. It happened to all of us. Go to the end. Think about how you're going to change the end, or how are you going to increase the end result, and then take it back from there. So just a little change of perspective maybe would help in this issue.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. And anyone else who's got questions, either unmute yourself or pop something in the chat.
Congratulations, Yuri. It's very awesome, your work. I feel that you're feeling. So, what can I do for our consumers to understand and they need it?
Well, what do you do?
Well, one solution about the plastic in the ocean.
Right. So that's a very interesting challenge, actually, because it's involved a lot of problem owners, right? You can have mariners, you can have countries, you can have different people, and I think that's one of the toughest challenges. So good for you for choosing that. What's the business case? How at the end, just back last year, the entire shipping industry was mandated to move to a higher cost fuel with low sulfur. I don't know if you know about that, but they would never have done that without regulation, because it doesn't make sense business-wise. Everybody knew that it's creating more pollution. Everybody knew that. But in the end, it got to make sense on the financial side. Okay, regulation is just a way to enforce that. But you got to make sense. Who would want to pay? Where's the money coming from? I'm sorry for being such a capitalist, but I'm true. I'm telling my true thoughts. It has to make sense. It cannot be on a philanthropic base alone. So who are your users? I don't know if I answered your question. So who are the users that you're trying to appeal to?
Maybe governments.
Governments, right. So I would definitely ask myself, how are they tackling this now, if at all? How would I show them the pain? Like, look, if you're not dealing with that, it will cause this and that. I don't know, some pollution of the shorelines. Maybe you can save money in a way. Remember the 3 points I talk about: saving costs in a way, optimizing, or creating a new revenue stream. There are some people that creating new revenue streams by doing something with the plastic that they are collecting. I don't know, some home design things or whatever. But think about that. Think about that. How can you apply one of the three?
Thank you, Yuri. Awesome.
Sure. Cool.
Hi, Yuri. Santosh here.
Hello.
Hello. Your journey is truly motivational for us. This is my second hackathon, and after listening to your story, it really excited me. Thanks for sharing your journey. Right. I have one question, and you got me excited by your opening statement where you talked about digital twin, right? That you're working on digital twin initiative. How is that coming about? Like, what kind of use cases you are seeing that it's getting traction in the market?
Right. Well, that's actually super interesting. So thank you for the question. What we found is there's lack of what we call depth assurance. So a lot of authorities and well, general maritime stakeholders, terminal operators, ports, shipping companies, they have a lot of ambiguity when it comes to really understanding how the seabed, like the bottom layer of the port or any shallow waterways, ports or rivers, how it behaves over time. Obviously, it changes. I think everybody knows that because you have some shoaling and you have some sediments and propellers can change, the movement of ships can change, but that dictates how much cargo is being loaded on vessels. And that's the important thing. When you find how to monitor or how to understand the seabed, you can better understand how much cargo you can put on each vessel. And just adding 1 centimeter on a cargo or a container vessel can be 250,000 iPads more, right? Or 1,300 oil barrels. I mean, that's insane. That's 1 centimeter. So just by knowing that, you can create a lot of value. And we chose to tackle this challenge with a digital twin. A digital twin is a digital representation of a physical object. So the physical object is the bottom, and the digital twin is created by multiple data sources. One of them is data that's been generated on board vessels. Yeah, so that's the business case that we chose to work on, and so far it's been very challenging and very fulfilling in a way.
Thank you.
Sure. See people starting to loosen up a little bit. That's good. Anyone else?
Come on, guys, this is your chance to ask a winner. A gentleman who's won hackathons. Isn't that what you all want to do? This is the guy you should be speaking to. Just ask him some more questions. Anybody else?
I'm also available at the chat box or in the Slack if you want to follow up on privately. So no worries about that. But I will be sleeping tonight. You're the one. So you should expect, a time when I'm not answering the Slack channel.
No, that's fair. You've done your time with the old hackathon sleep schedule, so it's only fair.
I have to say that it's true and not true. I still go to hackathons every now and then. The recent one was in Amsterdam. It was an hackathon. Pretty cool. I learned a lot about challenges in the world of retail. And I think people should do that for every once in a while because it opens your head to a lot of new experiences and new problems, and maybe you can take something to what you do today. Just on the top of my head.
Yeah, for sure. We've had one question come through from Janine, which is, what makes a successful hackathon project?
What makes a successful hackathon project? A good story to a good problem, to a significant problem. I always say try to fall in love with the problem. Talk about it. Say, like, call your teammates, call your, I don't know if you're waking up your parents or something, but tell them you wouldn't understand the problem that I just discovered. Talk about it. Make sure that it makes sense, right? So be very, how do you say, like, give it some thoughts. I mean, be true with yourself. If you're pitching to your teammates and you say, yeah, but that's not entirely true. So think about that. You know, at the end, we are going to see the work that you're doing only by the couple of minutes you got to pitch. So make sure that every argument you say there, it's like, bam, to the point, convincing us that this is what you should be working on and this is what the world needs right now. So, and you're the team to do that. So storytelling, again, make it compelling. That's for Janine, but that's actually for everybody. I think that for me, it's something that really worked. Like, stay very focused on that. Right.
Lovely, wise words. I mean, if this is, you know, we'll as opposed to have us sit here for another 5 minutes. If anyone's got any other questions, you know, this is the final call for it. But like Yuri said, you'll be available on Slack, and if anyone has got, as he already offered, any more questions or just something they want to follow up with privately, then you know you're able to reach out to him.
Yeah, I try to stay out for 1 hour. already 9 here, so 1 or 2 hours it'll be okay.
Okay, well, in which case, you know, we'll end this now. Thank you ever so much for joining us, Yuri. That's amazing, and thank you for making the time to come over and speak and share your story. Yeah, thank you.
Good time. Enjoy. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Oh, it's our pleasure. And well, on that note, everyone, enjoy your evening and potentially early morning if you're feeling really ballsy. The team and we're online all night. Feel free to reach out. We're here to help. And I know some of the mentors are coming online now, so your opportunity is there. But thank you again, everyone, for making the time and joining us this evening. And we'll see you all tomorrow morning, if not this evening. So best of luck again. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lindell.
Yeah, thank you.